program Salam Pakistan, and we've got a dignitary here among us. He is Jack Ciattarelli. He is running for governor in New Jersey, and he's a Republican candidate. And together we have Sadka Bukhari as well. She's done a lot of programs with us. But here we are talking, Jack, welcome to our program and welcome to our television ARY Digital Network.
Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. So as you see, often it has been observed that most of the time, most of the Pakistani Americans are pro-Democrats. But here we are with you. We want our viewers to hear directly from you that Republicans candidate, what do they think and how do they think and what good can they bring to their communities? Look, I mean, you're running for governorship here. So most Pakistani American, they're deep pockets, they have huge voting capacity, and they're a power bank here, especially for your reference in New Jersey. So I'm going to take this question towards a little bit more, towards, let's just say, towards religion, meaning Muslims in New Jersey, Muslims in America. So they are, of course, they are one of the minorities for your state. How do you, what's your plan to protect them? Because we've seen a lot of, there are hate crimes and stuff like this. Things are growing very differently. So what better can you do to protect this particular community?
First, let me say I welcome all Pakistani Americans to New Jersey. And I'm very, very happy that they made New Jersey their home. They came to New Jersey, came to America looking for all that is that my grandparents were looking for when they came to this country 100 years ago: opportunity and security. And my candidacy is all about providing just that, opportunity and security, with a very, very strong economy so people can achieve their American dream here in New Jersey, but also feel safe in the community. And so I think it's incumbent upon the governor, as the leader of our state, to stamp out discrimination in any and all forms, to stamp out racism in any and all forms, to stamp out hate in any and all forms. And we have to do it when we see it. We cannot delay. We cannot be ambiguous about hate and hate crimes. We have to call it out when we see it. And I will also say, as governor, I and my attorney general will support local law enforcement to ensure that our communities are safe. The job of local law enforcement and our state police has never been harder. And we need to support the men and women in blue that seek to keep us safe each and every day.
So, Mr. Ciattarelli, are you open to provide more job opportunities to this particular, let's say, Pakistani Americans, in special reference to? So, are you more open to provide them jobs and opening and open up more doors for them?
Absolutely. It pains me greatly that New Jersey is considered in America the worst state in which to do business. That's not campaign rhetoric, that's a fact. We're ranked year over year as the most unfriendly business state, unfriendly state in which to do business. And so as somebody who's an MBA CPA, as someone who owned his own business, my parents owned their own business, my sister owns her own business, my brother owns his own business. I want New Jersey to be the best state in the country in which to do business so that all New Jerseyans can thrive economically and start their own business if they'd like. And again, with no tolerance whatsoever for any form of racism, discrimination, or hate whatsoever.
It's also seen that this New Jersey state is becoming a little bit difficult for people to afford. So a lot of people, we've heard, you need to verify this, that they're leaving this state. So you need to actually do some miracle just so they have more confidence in New Jersey and they stay and they grow it together as they've always been.
I could not agree with you more. I want people to feel confident they can achieve their American dream right here in New Jersey. Sadly, New Jersey leads the nation in out-migration, the number of people that leave the state. 2/3 of the New Jerseyans that are here currently want to leave. That's not the state that I want to be governor of. And so we have to get people feeling confident again in our economy and that they can achieve all their dreams here in New Jersey and achieve security, however they may define that. And so the way to do that, in my mind, is with significant changes to our tax code. As an MBA CPA and a 2-time business owner, I know exactly how to fix our tax code to make New Jersey a much more attractive place to do business, a much more compelling place to do business, so we can create more jobs. And that includes lower taxes. I'd like to see us adopt Delaware's bylaws for corporate governance. Here in America, the most attractive state in which to incorporate is Delaware. We should adopt Delaware's bylaws for corporate governance. We should cut our corporate tax rate in half over a 5-year period. That's all very appealing to big business. But for small business, I'd like to see us make the first $50,000 of business income tax-free and never, ever, ever tax the gain on the sale of a family-owned business. Those are things that we can do to make sure that entrepreneurship takes off here in New Jersey as well.
Absolutely. I have a question for you. And after thinking through on a lot of different platforms that affect the community in general, I think children's education or education academic institution in general is something that the community is very focused on for, of course, their children and their future from there onward. So what plans do you have to add value to our current system right now?
First, let me say that I truly believe that Pakistani values are Republican values. We believe in family, education, lower taxes, and pro-business. Those are Republican ideals. My experience is in meeting with Pakistanis that live here in New Jersey, those are Pakistani ideals as well. So we need an educational system that I think gets back to basics. What does that mean exactly? Teaching our children the basic life skills that will serve them throughout their lives, whether or not they go to college. And so I want to get back to basics in our public school system. I think too often our public school system is failing with regard to teaching basic life skills.
In that light, understanding of culture and diversity, do you think that should be incorporated more into the academic system?
Particularly here in New Jersey, yes, I do. Why? Because we're the most diverse state in the union. And just as we do cultural competency training for professionals like police personnel and medical professionals so that they can engage with any type of citizen, whoever that citizen may be, over the course of any day, I could see that as part of a very dynamic educational experience for our students. I think there's real power and beauty in our diversity. And we need to celebrate that at the early ages, but also teach our students what that means exactly. There's a certain responsibility that comes with not being a homogeneous society. And that's what America's all about.
On the same note, what about workplace? I mean, will your administration be open to hiring more of the South Asian and Muslim and Pakistani community in general?
Absolutely.
In terms of having diversity at the workplace,
absolutely,
on government level, because what we notice is sometimes majority of the positions are not the higher positions, they're the standardized positions, but
that's
obviously
right.
Everyone is looking to excel. So will your administration reflect that once you're elected?
Right. And not just amongst our rank and file workers, but also in leadership positions.
Yes.
And I think Governor Christie did something very, very powerful when he appointed a Muslim American to the Superior Court, into a judgeship, right? That sends the right message that we're all in this together and we all get to experience the American opportunity for advancement.
So there is a very vivid gender income gap here in New Jersey. So between men's wages and women's wages, what would you do as a governor to bridge that income gap right there?
Well, certainly we have in New Jersey now one of the strongest pay equity laws in the nation. And I do think that businesses are waking up more and more to the responsibility that we should pay each and every person the same for the job that's being performed. That their ethnic background, their religious background, their gender should not influence what their pay scale is. So I would look to support that law. It's already in place. We need to make sure it's enforced as we go throughout New Jersey. There really should not be any disparity in pay because of somebody's gender, because of somebody's ethnicity, or because of somebody's religious background.
So the most favorite topic among any household in any state in perspective, but now we're talking to New Jersey, it's the taxes. So taxes and of course inequality in the income bracket and stuff, this is the hardest hit, adding of course health. But right now I want you to address what would you do to give a little bit more break to your New Jersey residents in terms of taxation?
The first thing we need to do is solve New Jersey's property tax crisis. We all know that we pay the highest property taxes in the nation, and this is the most punitive tax of all, because it touches every individual, whether they own or rent their dwelling. It touches every business, whether they own or rent their dwelling. We can lower property taxes in New Jersey, and the way we do that is with a new school funding formula. What a lot of people don't realize is that the state income tax in New Jersey is used for one purpose and one purpose only by Constitution: state aid to schools. But the way that aid is distributed is totally unfair. It's nefarious, it's arbitrary. I will go as far as to say that it's unconstitutional, violating the equal benefit clause of our state constitution. So what I want to see, and what you will see under Governor Ciattarelli in the very first budget, is a flatter and more equitable distribution of state aid to schools. That will help lower property taxes. I don't think it's fair that $1 million home in Jersey City or Hoboken pays less in property taxes than a $400,000 home in Toms River, my hometown of Hillsborough, or Parsippany. That's not fair. We need to solve that. So not only do we need a system that's fair, we need a school funding formula that lowers property taxes. And that's what I'm determined to do on property taxes. With regard to other taxes, I will tell you that we need tax reform. Some very, very bold reforms to our tax code. New Jersey currently has one of the highest personal income taxes in the nation and the highest business tax in the nation. Any state that has the highest property taxes, the highest personal taxes, and the highest business taxes is not going to thrive economically. Our economy will contract instead of expand. People will not want to do business here. And we saw this recently in Bergen County, where a big company like Nabisco left to go to North Carolina and took 600 good-paying middle-class jobs with it. We can't tolerate that anymore. We need to not only be regionally competitive, I would go as far as to say we need to declare economic war on our neighbors. And under Governor Ciattarelli, we will. I'll be pro-business and in favor of lower taxes for our individuals.
So you've seen a bit of an experience while you were the assemblyman. How difficult you've seen and you've experienced to deal with your governor office?
Well, it was very challenging because I was in the minority as a Republican in the state legislature where I served, as you said, in the assembly. But here's the good news. By Constitution, the governor of New Jersey is the most powerful in the nation. I think we might have learned anything from the pandemic. Maybe our governor is a bit too powerful. I've actually proposed a number of different ways to curtail the governor's executive powers. But because the governor by Constitution is very powerful, for example, line item veto power in the budget, and the ability to play a role in each and every appointment that takes place. That gives our governor a great deal of negotiation leverage in dealing with the state legislature. And so I will aggressively pursue all of my proposals and use my executive powers to gain leverage with the legislature to see some of those proposals come to fruition.
One of the questions that I had for you was in reference to the infrastructure of New Jersey. We are on the roads. We are that kind of states that's always traveling between the tri-state and beyond. And it has come to my attention over doing some research that the infrastructure is weak. It's deficient in many ways. About almost, I would say a good 7 to 8% of the bridges need a lot of work. Do you have anything in your plan to fix that end? Because from what I noticed with the current storm that we had on September 1st, the tropical depression Ida, majority of the issues were related to the infrastructure hiccups in the system. Do we have a way to fix that?
We do. No state in the country has the modes of transportation that New Jersey has between the airports, the ports, the rails, and the highways. And our economy will never, ever thrive unless we can depend on that infrastructure. It needs to be safe for the people that use it each and every day. As I've always said, we don't have a revenue problem in Trenton. We have a priority problem in Trenton. Infrastructure needs to be a priority because people depend on it every single day and because our economy will never ever achieve its full potential unless we have a dependable infrastructure. And so right now what I would be doing with the $6 billion that Joe Biden gave to New Jersey under the American Rescue Act is I would be using that money to improve our infrastructure. There are some major projects that need to be improved upon right now to keep our residents safe as they use them. And the other thing that I'd be doing is, again, reprioritizing our spending in Trenton. There's more than enough money. For example, Phil Murphy's budget is up $11 billion in less than 4 years' time, and yet our infrastructure has not improved vastly. There are still way too many projects still on the drawing board at the New Jersey Department of Transportation. We need to get those projects out, get the shovels in the ground, and get these projects moving. So again, our economy can do well. And the last thing is, as governor, I would advocate strenuously for the federal government to fund the Gateway project. The third rail tunnel underneath the Hudson River is critically important to the regional economy, which is critically important to the national economy. This is a national infrastructure project. So I'd be working in partnership with our congressional delegation, both of our U.S. senators and our 12 Congress people, to make sure that New Jersey gets its fair share of federal spending for infrastructure.
So talk about health. This is also very critical to the whole country, basically. But over here, we've seen a little bit of unrest among the senior citizens. They want to get out of this place. One, cold, expensive, and not having appropriate healthcare facilities to them. So do you have anything to protect them and their rights?
So not only seniors, but I think if the pandemic revealed one thing, it revealed a number of things, but one thing it certainly did reveal was the disparity in the access to quality health care, particularly amongst those at the lower income levels through New Jersey. That can't be. We have to fix that. And so one of the planks of my gubernatorial platform is very, very specific to providing access to high quality care here in New Jersey. For example, including the federal match, New Jersey spends close to $15 billion a year on Medicaid. That's health care for the poor. I would like to take that money and by way of community development block grants, create a different delivery system for health care to the poor, particularly in our urban centers. I think that's critically important. I'd like to see more out-of-state insurers do business in New Jersey, so long as they meet our adequacy requirements for the networks, their physician networks. I think that increased competition would be good for healthcare in New Jersey. I think we need to have greater transparency. Many times people buy a health insurance policy only to find out it didn't cover this and it didn't cover that. That's not fair. We need greater transparency for consumers. And the last thing I'd like to see happen in New Jersey, particularly for small employers, I employed 30 people on Main Street and I offered a health care plan. But I think it should be easier for small employers to aggregate their purchasing power to buy health insurance. All those little employers are making those individual decisions and paying a very, very high rate. It should be much easier for small employers to aggregate their purchasing power to gain health insurance for their employees. And I think if we did that, you would see more and more small employers offer health insurance to their employees.
You know, on that note is a situation that I think New Jersey's been dealing with for a while, which is the exodus of the younger generation. Once they graduate from college, they're thinking of moving out of state. So do we have any plans to keep them within states, aside from the tax that, you know, you're going to be working on, the tax credits or issues?
People will live where they believe they can achieve their American dream. And young people today usually do not want to live in our suburbs. They want to live in our cities. And in order for them to want to do that, our cities need to be cool, or at least, as I say, have a vibe. That's not the case here in New Jersey. So I have a plan that's very, very specific to our urban centers that will revitalize them and make them cool in every way. I'm not about gentrification. I'm not about dislocating people or relocating people. I will work with local community leaders to make sure that our cities are vibrant in every way. That's where young people want to live today. And there's another program that I'd like to see us adopt here in New Jersey. It's something Missouri did, that if you come from out of state and go to one of our state colleges, that after your freshman year, your first year of school, if you change your residency to New Jersey and you earn at least $3,000 a year from a New Jersey employer, we will give you in-state tuition in your second, third, and fourth year of college. Why do we want to do that? Because people have a tendency sometimes to stay in the state in which they go to college. And so we want people that come from out of state into New Jersey to take up root and to stay here. So those are some of my plans to get young people to stay here in New Jersey, in addition to, as I said before, making student loan interest deductible on your New Jersey tax return, and for first-time home buyers, making the interest on your mortgage tax deductible on your New Jersey tax return.
So as we are almost towards the end of our program, I want you to please tell our viewers that what does this politics mean to you?
What politics means to me is that we can improve people's lives. And as we know here in New Jersey, there's a lot of room for improvement. The state we love, I love it, is broken in a number of different ways. You know it and I know it, and we talked about all those ways today. So I'm a proud New Jerseyan. I want to see New Jersey prosper. I want to see people who feel good about living in New Jersey. They feel confident they can achieve their American dream here. I'm also one of those people that hates to see when things are broken, and I get great satisfaction out of fixing things. What's broken here in New Jersey: property taxes, our business climate, our education system, access to healthcare. These are things that can all be fixed. I just think we need the right kind of leadership, and that's exactly what I hope to provide New Jerseyans.
What would you like to say as your closing remarks?
New Jersey is the most diverse state in the country. And I welcome Pakistanians, and I'm very, very happy they've made New Jersey their home. Again, I think that diversity of New Jersey makes us more beautiful and all the more powerful. And I know the Pakistani community reminds me very, very much of my grandparents, who came here in search of opportunity and security. Those are the two things that all Americans seek when they come to this country. And I want to make sure that people feel confident they can achieve opportunity and security. I'll hold up, as we like to say, I'll hold up my end of the bargain. And then it's up to you to work hard and be successful. And we hope that you do that right here in New Jersey.
Wish you the best. Thank you so very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.